For the viewers, it's a Friday today.
Yes, it is.
That means it's a drinking video, is it not?
Well, normally it would be, but I was hungover last week, so we should probably make up for that. Back in 2008, the band Iron Maiden embarked on their Somewhere Back in Time tour, during which they travelled around in a custom 757 decked nose to tail in custom Iron Maiden livery. Iron Maiden livery that made some people think the plane was haunted.
So did Iron Maiden own this plane?
No, it actually belonged to Astraeus Airlines, a company I believe no longer exists, but did at the time obviously, who gave it to the band as a favour.
Why would an airline owe a heavy metal band a favour?
Oh, because the lead singer of Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson, was a commercial pilot at the time, and he flew planes for Astraeus Airlines.
What, and everyone knew about this?
Yeah, and he was also on there. He was also a marketing director for the company, because of course he fucking was. And he managed to parlay this into a meeting with, like, the owner of Astraeus Airlines, and basically went, "Can I borrow a plane?" Well, actually, no. I think the first thing he said, "Can I have some time off? So I'm going on tour. Also, while I'm at it, can I borrow a plane?" Even if I didn't know Bruce Dickinson was the frontman of a heavy metal band, I would know it from the fact he had the balls to ask his boss that. Because only someone with the confidence of a guy who fronts a band that performs in front of hundreds of thousands of people would be able to ask his boss earnestly for a plane. It's like, when I was in a restaurant, my boss wants someone to fuck off for asking to, borrow some napkins because I was having a house party. Like, no, fuck off, you're not taking them home with you. And Bruce Dickinson swaggered in to his boss's office and casually asked to borrow a plane. And they're going, "Oh yeah, sure, you can have that, mate, don't worry. And 6 months off while you're on tour." Because obviously Bruce Dickinson flying for Astraeus Airlines had brought him so much free publicity, because he's like, "Oh, I'm happy to appear in all your marketing material." So, "Oh yeah, look, the front man of Iron Maiden flies one of our planes." That's such a good boost to your public profile, isn't it?
So he borrowed a plane, but I'm assuming because it was his tour, he didn't fly it.
No, Bruce Dickinson flew the plane as well. Because that's one of the reasons, he asked them for a plane. He said, "We don't really trust people to get our equipment to where we need to be on time. So if I fly the plane, we'll know it's going to get there on time because I'm fucking flying it." And the straight like, "You know what, that makes sense. You can have it." It's the fact that he's asking to borrow a plane, I'd ask to borrow your copy of God of War.
Seeing as he was flying the band,
yes.
Do you reckon instead of doing the pre-flight announcements, he just played Iron Maiden songs?
Oh, I hope he fucking did, because I know that when he used to fly for Astraeus Airlines, I think he used to just introduce himself as Bruce Dickinson, the frontman of Iron Maiden. Sticking with this train of thought for a moment, Brad, what fictional character's voice would you feel most uneasy hearing over the tannoy of a plane that's about to take off that you are on?
Elmo.
No, I'd feel really safe. Just to prepare for take. No. I can't even do an Elmo voice. How does Elmo sound again?
I don't remember.
Mr. Blobby. Because you know he's going to crash on purpose for a joke.
You just know. Blobby.
I would immediately walk over to that thing that says "Do not open" and just slam it shut and dive out.
Just start screaming the word bomb, hoping that the security drags you off.
I would be so terrified if Mr. Blobby were flying my plane.
I think any villain voice, you would immediately be like, something's happening with this plane.
Skeletor's voice, yeah. Oh fuck, I'm so dead. What voice would put you most at ease?
Ooh, fictional or real?
Either.
Tom Hanks.
Just even Tom Hanks go over thing in his Woody voice.
Yeah, because even if they crash, he knows how to land that plane in a river.
Oh, he did play that guy, didn't he?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd want Harrison Ford. Because that way if any terrorists come on board, Harrison Ford will personally come out and kick them off the back of the plane. Personally will come back and just Gerard Butler Sparta kick them off the edge of that fucking plane. You know what's going to happen.
You know you're safe if you're on a Harrison Ford flight.
You do know it's the safest flight. Or Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's in that movie where he flies a plane upside down, coked off his tits. And there's a great bit in that movie Flight where they say, yeah, we put every pilot we have through a simulation of what you managed to land a plane during, and they all failed, and he did it coked out of his fucking mind. Amazing. The moral of that story is that cocaine solves all problems, because at the end when he's in his court case, he manages to fly through his deposition or whatever they call it, because he does a load of cocaine. So cocaine not only helps him land a plane, it helps him get away with taking cocaine to land a plane.
Speaking of caught, somebody you wouldn't want flying the plane, Jim Carrey.
Jim
You
Carrey.
heard any of his characters?
No, not the thing is, you want him flying the plane, you want him next to it in one of those like mobile staircases, throwing his shoe at the pilot. Oh, but the thing is though, that film did not age well after 9/11, did it? Because the idea of a guy running through security, hijacking, especially after like the shoe bomber and all that shit, you've got a guy, like from everyone else's objective point of view, if that happened today, you'd have a crazy man running out onto the tarmac, stealing a vehicle and then throwing a shoe at the pilot.
The world's worst terrorist.
The thing is though, he'd have to be dressed like the Riddler if he was doing that. I think we're on something here, Brad. So, flying this fictional plane that me and you were on, we've got Harrison Ford's character from Air Force One and Denzel Washington's character from Flight. So we've got the ultimate like pilot, co-pilot team to make sure this plane doesn't get taken down. Who do you send in to take it down?
Oh.
Who can take down that plane? So that's how you get Jim Carrey on the tarmac as his Riddler throwing shoes at it.
And then from above, Tom Hardy's Bane.
Tom Hardy. Oh, yeah, because he takes down a plane, doesn't he? Okay, so Tom Hardy's Bane, he's teaming with Jim Carrey's from Liar Liar. Right, and who do you get to take it out when it's in flight? I say you get the Iron Patriot armour from Iron Man 3, where the guy tries to get into Air Force One with that. So you've got that, so you've got Bane wearing that, who sneaks in, but then do you think Harrison Ford could take him out while Denzel Washington just loop the loops and barrel rolls?
I reckon it'd just be Harrison Ford repeatedly kicking him off as he flies back in.
Until he runs out of film.
It's like a broken character in a video game just going, get off my, get off my, get off my.
Who do you bring back in though? Like, who do you bring as their ringer who gets to fly out? No.
No, Tom Hanks is Sully. He's ready to take over when Harrison Ford goes
the guys from Mile High Club in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the final mission, they're actually hiding in the toilet and they come and help you when it happens. Make this film, Hollywood. Make this film. I don't care who you got to pay to get the rights to do it. I want to see Harrison Ford kicking someone in the Iron Patriot armour off a plane as the SAS from Modern Warfare. Just provide backup. This should be the sickest. As Denzel Washington, he's just coked out of his mind doing like loop the loops. This is going to be a great movie. I'd pay to watch this movie. What have we got instead? What's out in cinemas this week?
Oh God!
Some bullshit that's not that. I'll tell you what. Let's not date this video and just say I bet it's not as cool as that idea.
Yeah. So Australis Airlines gave Iron Maiden a plane.
Yes, for them to use on their world tour. And what Iron Maiden then did is covered it nose to tail in Iron Maiden livery. And the plan was for halfway through the tour to give that back to Australis Airlines, and they were then going to remove the livery and put it back into service. But apparently, fans of Iron Maiden in like the US and Europe, because obviously heavy metal's really big in Europe, like, we kind of like this plane. Can we fly on that plane specifically? So they put it back into service with the Iron Maiden livery still on it.
Please tell me, like, there's only one person they must have gotten to fly that plane.
Oh yeah, Bruce Dickinson did fly that plane on occasion. And the best part is as well, for like the latter part of their tour, which I think was in Europe, Bruce Dickinson would fly fans to the concert in it.
That'd be the ultimate experience.
So you get to arrive in the Iron Maiden plane. So like, you take Iron Maiden fans in it to their concerts, which is fucking amazing.
So why do people think it was haunted?
Well, that happened when the plane was sent to Africa, because according to Bruce Dickinson in a letter he penned to fans, it was the only plane available for a chartered flight to Africa where Australia Airlines had been hesitant to send it, because when it got there, a lot of people thought the demonic imagery on the side meant it was haunted, and they refused to get on the plane. And like, as if that wasn't bad enough, while Australia trying to coax people to get onto the plane, it's like, no, it's not evil. It's just a heavy metal band from England. Like, don't worry about it. People boarding other flights also refused to get on board because they thought the bad juju, in like Bruce Dickinson's words, would affect their plane too. So other airlines then started complaining to us, just like, what the fuck, we can't take off. No one's getting on our plane because they think your plane's haunted. Get rid of that shit. So you had to like very quickly and quietly remove the decals, at which point people got on the plane. Because apparently paint stripper can stop demonic forces. Who fucking knew?
Oh man, imagine that in like Paranormal Activity or The Exorcist. You know the bit where they throw the holy water on people?
Yeah.
It's just paint. Just a white spirit and turpentine, just throwing it all over Regan's face.
Basically throwing acid in a little girl's eyes. Ah!
No wonder her head's spinning round.
The power of Christ compels you, bitch.
That's what the vomit is. She's taken some of it in.
What I don't understand though is if you think the plane is haunted, why would you think removing the images from the side of the plane stops it being haunted? To be fair to the people who were scared of getting on the plane, It's noted that a lot of them didn't think the plane was haunted per se. They just felt uneasy about getting on a plane covered in demonic imagery, which is fair enough, because I think enough people are nervous about flying without there being a fucking giant devil face on the side of the plane. It's like, if you're already worried about flying, that's probably tempting fate a little bit, isn't it? It's like that scene in Friends, isn't it, where, like, oh, my friend had a feeling about the phalanges, like 40 people get off the plane. Because that shit happens these days, doesn't it? My favourite one of that being, it was like during the Ebola panic. A guy on a plane he coughed, and an air stewardess asked him, "Are you okay, Stephen?" "Oh, it's all right. I just got back from Africa." And the entire plane deboarded in an instant and refused to get back on board. Or there's another one during, remember the Galaxy Note 7 when they were just blowing up?
Oh, yeah.
Some guy set his portable Wi-Fi hotspot name to Galaxy Note 7, and everyone disembarked on the plane. Oh, Mark, that was amazing. Did you hear about what Samsung were doing when that was at the height of the panic?
I didn't know much about it, no.
When basically Galaxy Note 7s were exploding, some guy released a mod for Grand Theft Auto to turn the C4 into Galaxy Note 7s. And they told it would take that video down. And then I think at the same time as well, their washing machine started catching fire. Continue to eat shit, Samsung.
It was like our oven exploded, didn't it?
Yeah,
when you were living here, the oven door just blew up.
All the glass exploded out. Oh yeah, that's a thing that happens sometimes. Oh thanks. Just sometimes that ovens explode.
Every now and then your oven just blows up and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, the thing about the glass on the oven door shattered, and we looked it up online, and there's loads of people complaining, oh yeah, that happens. It's a defect. So that's a pretty fucking big defect. Yeah. What would have been happening if I'd have been going down to cook some cheese on toast? Well, let's have a look at my cheese on toast doing. Boom! 40,000 pieces of glass in my eye. No more fact fiend. We're both out of a job.
I mean, you could still do fat feet, you just can't see the camera.
Who's going to watch this if I'm looking like Jigsaw from Punisher Warzone? No fucker.
Jesus Christ. We'd have to put that Halloween mask on you permanently.
Yeah.
You look like Jigsaw from Punisher Season 2 instead.
Yeah. Billy Russo. Oh, I'm so ugly. One cut.
I was so annoyed at that. He was
they lead up to, what I want you to do now, Brad, if Punisher Season 2, spoilers, who gives a fuck now that it's been cancelled by Netflix, fuck it, we're never going to know how it ends. Billy Russo, Jigsaw, the idea is his face was all kind of fucked up. The Punisher, put in a screen, a bit of a clip of what the Punisher does to him, which is scrape his bloodied face across a broken mirror, compared to what he looks like in Season 2. He's got a scratch here and a scratch there and a scratch there.
So why did Bruce Dickinson write this in an open letter?
What, instead of it being like a press release from the airline saying, oh, we're sorry the Iron Maiden plane is out of service because people thought it was haunted? It's because Bruce Dickinson, as I mentioned, he was taking fans to shows in it, and he was really he was annoyed about the fact they had to remove the livery because fans were really looking forward to flying in the Iron Maiden plane. Even though he flew in the same plane because he didn't have the Iron Maiden shit on the side, it wasn't as full of an experience for them as it could have been. And he was really pissed off for the fans. I know, I'm still going to fly you to the show, but you can't fly in the Iron Maiden plane because apparently people thought the Iron Maiden plane was haunted. What pissed me off about this though is that the airline didn't put the livery back on after the fact. Because do you know when you book a flight and you think, where do you want to sit, what do you want to eat? Why don't you also get to pick what kind of plane you want to fly on? It's if they had a choice, okay, what livery do you want on your plane? Do you want a plain one? Or do you want to pay an extra 20 quid to fly on with Daft Punk on the side? I'm like, yeah, I'll pay 20 quid for that. I'll fly on the Daft Punk plane. They should start telling you who else has been on the plane.
Oh.
They should start putting old tour planes into service again.
In restaurants when they used to put pictures of famous people who'd eat there, they can do that on planes.
Or the thing of famous people who've worn this tuxedo when you rent it. Yeah. So this is Batman's tuxedo and that kind of. I want to know. I want to fly on the Iron Maiden plane. Start advertising that kind of shit. Yeah, I might be sat eating my shit sandwich. They give you it's all soggy and wet with a crap cup of tea that's not even warm in the same place that someone from Iron Maiden had sex with a groupie in. Yeah, that shit's the best. Start doing that. Get on it, airlines.
Just you eating your soggy mayonnaise.
Yeah,
thinking about how they were.
The thing is, airlines already monetize the shit out of everything else. They already charge you for God knows everything else. Why not start doing that? Saying, do you want to pay an extra 20 quid to just fly on a plane that I made? Bruce Dickinson flew? Yeah.
Let's just take the piss and put awesome artwork on chairs and just say, do you want to sit on the chair covered in the Iron Maiden artwork?
The thing is though, I would, but just so people be looking at why has he got that chair and I've got this? I'm like, I paid 20 quid, motherfucker.
Why is he in the special chair?
Balling. People pay for more legroom, don't they? That's it. Planes will charge you for literally every piece of additional comfort you can get. They charge for headphones, they charge you access to the internet, they charge for more legroom, they charge you sit close to the aisle. Why not just say, okay, instead of first class, how would you like to just like sit in the Iron Maiden plane? I'd be like, yeah. Do you want to fly in a plane where like some rock stars had all kinds of crazy freaky sex? And I'm like, yeah, I'm up for that. That's a story I can tell in a video later in the year. Yeah.
The story you can tell later in the year, how you spent like 50 quid to go on a certain type of plane, and when you got on there it was the same as every other plane, and you couldn't even enjoy the library because it's on the out fucking side.
It doesn't matter,
and Bruce Dickinson wasn't flying it.
It doesn't matter. I know. It's more the fact that you know that's what it was.
I mean, I could tell you that about anything. That glass, Tom Cruise drank out.
It's more like you get people who will pay money for like a box of earth because it's like it's the penalty, like the earth under the penalty spot at Wembley Stadium. How's that any different?
Well, it's not, but I didn't think you'd be one of those people.
What? I'm not going to pay to like have cool shit happen to me? Fuck yeah, I am.
What cool shit happened? You're just sitting on a plane.
Yeah, but it's a plane that's covered in like super cool, awesome, sick artwork. I want to fly in a plane. Looks like Ed Hardy threw up on it.
But you can't see the plane from the inside.
But other people can see me flying on it.
No, they can't. You're tiny through a window, and no one's allowed on the airfield. The only people who see it are people in the plane, and then you're not special because they've all been through the same thing.
Yeah, but they all pay the extra. We're all special. Why do you think people pay extra to sit in those big cinema seats? It's all about looking cool, man. It's not about being cool. It's
That's about
cool.
comfort. If you paid for a more comfy seat with Iron Maiden library on, then I'd get it.
Let's go argue about this some more. Right.
So big bands like this, they always have riders.
Yes.
Which we've mentioned before.
Yeah, what would be on the fact-themed ride? And I said booze and mixer, and I'd be happy with that.
But I reckon I know you well enough now where I could fill in a rider for you.
Okay, then.
So say you're going to a YouTube venue, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's pretend there's this big YouTube conference. They've got enough money to afford to get me.
Yeah.
The guy who'll turn up for a bottle of beer and train fare. Okay, what would be on my rider then if I got to the like, prima donna stage?
So obviously we'll start for the ones we know. You want some booze on there.
Obviously, yeah. Whatever's cheapest.
Whatever's cheapest.
At Asda.
So it'd either be some cheap beer, maybe some rum, maybe some whiskey.
Yeah. Then some.
Some Pepsi Max.
Sugar-free, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to watch my weight a little bit.
And obviously you said Skittles as well, but no, I think another small, almost spherical thing you want beans.
Yeah.
You want
the thing is, I've got a snack, yeah.
You want a room full of beans, and to go with the beans, bread. And apparently sub rolls aren't enough.
Oh, you need a slice of bread?
For context, Karl refused the sub roll I offered him.
No, I don't want no fucking sub roll. You got to have a slice of bread with your beans on it. What are you talking about?
It is bread. It's a sausage-shaped
It's
bread.
a type of bread. We are not having the fucking bread cake argument again. Fuck you.
What do you call buns?
Shouldn't be not having this argument. No, Americans watching in the UK. There is a big fucking argument between all people, mine and Brad's age, when you're in university. You always have the argument, what do you call a bread cake? What do you call the meal that you have in the evening?
It's not called bread
it's
cake.
fucking
Just
tea.
to clarify.
It's tea, you bastards.
It's what he's calling a bread cake.
And what do you call the space between two houses?
An alley?
Yeah, or a ginnel.
I've never
Or
heard
a
of Skittles.
snicket. Like, let's
Never
not get into this. So fuck you, no. What else is on my rider for this mythical conference then? This legendary big dick YouTube conference.
What else does Karl need? I'm going to say...
The thing is, it's not what I'd need, it's what I'd want to not be there. So I'd just say, like, don't put other people there that I don't like.
You want space on either side of your room.
Yeah, I'd have, like, is it Mariah Carey who does that? Where she demands that people aren't allowed to look her in the eyes? I'd want that, just to see what people would do about it.
I think you'd have security trained to remove people upon hearing certain words.
If someone says maybe so-and-so is vampire, just kick them the fuck out.
That's a running gag now. Wherever you go, there's always some sort of assurances in place that nobody can say those things to you. It's like when you talk about the bar, you would bar people if they'd walked into your pub and tried to say those words.
Yeah.
Now you've got bouncers. Okay, so we've got your rider sorted for the hotel room. What would be your vehicle of choice? How would you get there?
I'd want a shitty crap van, but it has to have the pussy wagon written on the back from Kill Bill. It's got to have that. Because it always goes up, my mate who's in a band has got this really shitty van that they use for tours, and he constantly refers to it as the passion wagon. It never ceases to crack me up. So I think you'd have to have like the pussy wagon, because it's like, imagine driving through McDonald's in that shit. You're like such a bell end.
And who would be allowed in it and what would be inside it?
It'd be me drinking in the back, and then you can be in a taxi behind me. I'm not.
I don't think I get to come in the
No one gets to come in the van.
in the fact wagon, or whatever you're going to call it.
Wagon. I think if you just like, we're not allowed to make eye contact though.
The no more mystery machine.
Oh man, yeah.
We're not allowed to make why is it with you and eye contact?
I like the fact. I think it is Mariah Carey who says that people aren't allowed to do that, and they get fired if they do. Like her own personal assistants aren't allowed to make eye contact with her.
She's a great singer, but what a bitch.
Yeah, she is.
What a stupid thing to demand.
No, yeah, that's Mariah Carey for you.
Jesus Christ. Like 1,000 or so years ago, she'd be sacrificing people for doing it.
Oh man, the fact wagon, I like that.
Okay, so fact wagon's your transport.
Yeah.
What security would you have then? We've mentioned bouncers, people who like bodyguards who stop people from coming towards you and shouting the word vampire.
No, so you don't have that. What you do is like, who do they let in? Because when you always have those bands, like the groupies, and it's like, oh yeah, we want people with this size tits. And the people I'd let in are people who are carrying booze that I can just steal.
It doesn't matter what you look like.
Because you know what I'm like for this. Because whenever people come to my house, I always very slowly, before we go out, at the end of the night, get everyone's booze and just hide it.
I remember, it was a few weeks ago, I left like about a quarter of a bottle of rum at your place.
And before like, you could grab it, I just like slowly put it into
I went to the toilet, came back, and you'd put it in amongst your alcohol. So then I was like, oh, it's all right, I'll have some next time I come. I came back about 3 or 4 days later and you drank it.
Hey, that's the house rule. If you bring booze to someone's house and you go out, that booze belongs to the person. That belongs to the host.
I used to love hosting house parties. Just
you get so much bullshit, yeah. So that's what I do. And at the end of the night when they're trying to get away, what are you doing? Whoa, that's mine now. And I just hoard it all. I'll be like Smaug.
You had some of the Pepsi Max I bought. Like, Smaug. I've only just acknowledged that you said that.
I'll be like,
it's just you lying over a pile of bottles.
People just looking, I'm there.
Just a fan that you've tried to block, just going, oh, Karl, the majestic and mighty.
No. What I'm imagining though is the next day after like a heavy party, after like, a Fiend concert, where the fuck we're talking about, you look through the back of the van and me passed out a load of beer bottles and a tiger thong that growls. Because that's my favourite thing. I've got to wear the tiger thong that growls. It comes from, as a story someone told me at the high school I went to up until year 10. They said on the very last day in the last assembly, someone lost a bet and they had to wear a tiger thong that growled. So every 5 minutes in the middle of the final assembly saying, oh, go out into the world and be adults. And live up to the proud tradition this school has established for its alumni. You say, growl. It's just coming from some guy's dick hole. It's always, I love the idea, whenever I do anything serious, I've got to wear one.
So, because you're talking about it, completely off topic, let's close off, right? We'll both come with one. Funniest prank you saw in school or college?
Okay, yeah. Right, you start us off then, Brad. What's the funniest prank you saw?
Well, one I remember was one of my friends bought an inflatable sex sheath from a shop and duct taped it to the top of a guy's new car.
That's strong. I think I did the one at my school. Before I left in year 10, I streaked around the school. In my underwear, at least. And I ran through the dining hall, which with all our teachers in it, and ended up in nearly tackled to the floor by the PE teacher. I'm really proud, because I was shit at PE and stuff. I outran for a good 5 minutes.
And that's got to be bad for him.
He couldn't catch me, because I was running around in this bright red underwear, and everyone in the school was trying to catch me to snatch him off. Like, oh, get in. And then I got nearly expelled. And then I told the guy, I'm leaving school in a week. And he went, oh.
Never mind then.
I'll see you on Monday, Karl. Don't do it again.
And on Monday, through your runs.
No. The best bit is though, I got sponsored for it, and they basically a message around the school like, anyone who sponsored Karl to do this, if we see you giving him any money, you are going to get suspended. And some people who sponsored me were teachers. So for that last week I was in that school, it was like drug deals happening.
People slipping your money in a handshake.
I had a teacher come and say, Karl, I've heard you're leaving. It's been a pleasure being your teacher. I wish you all the best. Here's 20 quid. And it's like, yeah, thanks, sir. It's good, innit? And I bought a mobile phone with it, and it was shit.
Never realised until you're older that teachers are just people.
Yeah.
They're always these imposing older characters to you, and then once you're a bit older, you're like, wait, they were clearly fucking. He clearly didn't like me.
That happened to one of ours. It was one of our teachers got fired because they were banging each other. Because it turns out the head teacher was banging the deputy head, and his wife didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.